Hello, my name is William Kumwembe and this is Business Time. It's a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories that are making headlines in the country. And coming up in the program today, local currency, the kwacha, remains volatile despite tobacco market being at its peak. We find out why. And also in the program today, we look at impact of the COVID pandemic to some of the key sectors of the local economy. You have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could.
I've got that feeling, that linger feeling. I've got that feeling, that linger feeling. I've got that feeling, that linger feeling. I've got that feeling, that linger feeling.
Made from fresh local fruits of mulberry, jambula, rosella, strawberry, plum, white guava, and white peach, and naturally fermented for 1 or 2 years in our cool cellar, comes Malawi's own Linga. Here's to a smooth taste, unsurpassed quality, and distinctive fruit wines. When in Malawi, it has to be Linga.
Hello and welcome. This is Business Time, and in our main story in the program today, for quite some time, the local currency, the kwacha, has remained volatile despite the tobacco market being at its peak. Of course, tobacco remains Malawi's top export crop.
Recent figures from the Reserve Bank of Malawi show that import cover was at $394.28 million, representing 1.89 months of imports in April. The figure highlights a 21% drop in import cover when compared to the $502.90 million, representing 2.41 months of imports recorded at the end of January. The central bank attributes the trend to seasonality of the local economy coupled with the COVID pandemic. But how has the trend affected businesses? A question for Chris Tausi, General Manager for Nazmia Imports and Exports Limited.
We could also access foreign currency from black markets, and sometimes we get from bureaus, certified bureaus, and now we cannot get because mostly when we get there, we don't find currency. It's scared now because people are not coming in. Yeah, so this has been a very big challenge to us. NASME, that's National Small and Medium Enterprise, Export and Import. And also, we are talking of how now we cannot import the materials because some of the commodities that we do, we import the materials. We are talking of, let's say, sunflower. If we cannot access the borders, then we cannot access the sunflower from Zambia. And that also affects the production of sunflower oil.
His sentiments are shared by Financial Markets Dealers Association President McLaren Sikwese. He holds that the incoming fertilizer imports and the ongoing affordable inputs program will exert pressure on the limited foreign exchange resources, thereby straining the reserve's position further. Malawi University of Business and Applied Sciences-based economist Bechani Chereni weighs in his views.
In the medium to the long term, really what the president is saying is what we should go about. Let us start to diversify the economy. Depending on agriculture only is not going to take us anywhere. Let's go the mining route. Let's rethink our manufacturing. And apart from that, I think it's a mindset change that people need to begin to believe that products made in Malawi are good as well. As we stand now, people simply think that products made in Malawi are not good enough, but we need to start to believe in that. And those who are making the products in Malawi, be it sofa sets, whatever product it might be, let us try to improve on the quality as well. Let's make products that are of high quality so that they can attract many consumers within the country. It is only through that this deficit, we can talk about it. We worry so much about the import cover because we are a predominantly importing country. And I mean, we cannot be proud about that. We should not be proud about that. We have to become a country that is self-sufficient, self-dependency. And that's the spirit of the Vision 2063.
RBM spokesperson Oneli Nkuna indicates that the bank has embarked on a number of initiatives to address foreign exchange supply gaps in the short to medium term while looking at long-term strategies. Malawi is a predominantly importing and consuming nation, which makes its economy highly sensitive to availability of foreign exchange.
Now, recently, the government reintroduced some of the measures in an attempt to contain the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Some players in the economy feel that this could, to an extent, affect growth prospects. Our journalist Chimwemwe Mangazi has been speaking to some of the players and has since filed this report.
The impact of the COVID pandemic on the economy cannot be overemphasized. While players in the private sector were contemplating stability and growth of businesses in the second half, a new wave and increasing cases of COVID are posing serious threats on growth prospects. Just last week, the Presidential Task Force on COVID announced new containment measures, among which employers should decongest workplaces by 50%. Chibuku Products Limited says implementation of the new measures has increased production cost. Gloria Zimba is its business development and corporate affairs manager.
So at the moment, just before last week, we are not only recovering, but we also saw a bit of growth, especially in the central region, where we were most hit by both the COVID restriction measures, as well as the smuggled products. We saw not only the recovery, but we saw also steady growth in our market. But come last week, with the announcements, now we are a bit gloomy. We've not yet started experiencing the heat because of the restrictions. We are still steadily selling, but we hope and pray and cross our fingers that steady growth will continue.
Chombe Foods Limited General Manager Maksud Rahman Bora says the new measures will exacerbate a slowdown in business perpetuated by a weak buying power.
Business at the moment is not that fast also. It's going slower. At the moment, not that encouraging. You see, at the moment, we see that the people has got a less purchasing ability. The money is very less. You know, people are buying, people love a cup of chombe tea, they love it. They buy it, but the amount it should be, it's not that much. The purchasing ability is less at the moment.
The Economics Association of Malawi recently indicated that the country may not meet its growth projections for 2021 at 3.8% if such measures are implemented for long.
Now, one of the hardest hit sectors of the local economy by the COVID pandemic is the tourism sector. In 2020 alone, about 300,000 jobs were lost due to the pandemic. Now, our journalist Yamika Nkajaje has been tracking the trends in the sector, especially in the first half of the year 2021, and has since filed this report.
The hospitality industry remains adversely affected by the COVID pandemic. For example, Blantyre Hotels Limited registered a 69% drop in revenue for the 6-month period ended March 2021. Such trends are posing a threat on returns for players in the industry this year. Sunbird Tourism Limited Chief Executive Officer Yusuf Olela says the effects of the pandemic are still being felt and losses could be imminent.
The profit warning that we gave was making reference to the first 6 months, which is that just ended June. So if you look at that first 6 months, then there's been better performance than last year, even though we are still loss-making. We had a very difficult, actually one of the worst. If you remember, January and February was probably one of the worst period that we have in this country, looking at the number of people who lost their lives and also the number of cases. From March, there was some positive signs that the industry is picking up, and there was that continuous trajectory from March all the way to June. But I must say that the way we were looking at the future has also been dented with what we would consider to be the third wave that is happening now. And right now, to be honest with you, it's just very difficult to project or to forecast what's going to happen in the next 6 months. We just hope that this third wave will be for a shorter period. And we're also hopeful that we will be able to access vaccine, because the only way to mitigate the risk of COVID is to make sure that a lot of people are able to access vaccination so that there's a herd immunity, and then the number of cases and the deaths will drop. That is when the market can start really revamping itself again. I think when it comes to COVID, I think a lot of focus has been put on how to mitigate the risk of COVID and saving life. And that is justifiable, because in the sense that you must save life first before you look at how you can revamp the economy, because the economy is for the living. So if you cannot really address the issue of life, then there's no need to start talking about economy. So I think the most interesting thing is that I think the government is also facing the same challenge, because government also runs its business through the taxes that they collect. And when the economy is not doing very well, the government is also affected. So I think that the government has actually done their best. There are opportunities when the government could have actually imposed lockdown, but what they have done is to put measures to save life, but also to make sure that business can still continue running.
Malawi Tourism Council Executive Director Richard Mnyetseni adds that such trends will have serious consequences on the economy.
The picture is gloomy. The industry has gone down, and most companies are closing, most rather firms are closing, and others are scaling down their operations. It has a downstream effect on the economy, because tourism contributes something substantial in terms of the forex earning and also in terms of the economy in general. Maybe it could be around 10 to 15% of the economy. So that too has an impact. Looking further, if the situation does not change, it will come to the West, actually. And we are afraid that most big companies that are in tourism industry will close. We can have a tourism fund. Obviously, the tourism is business, and people can borrow from the fund. Maybe when things are okay, they can still pay back. It's money that is not lost. We may not be talking of even 20 billion. The government just needs to inject something to rescue this industry.
The Malawi Annual Economic Report indicates that 300,000 people lost their jobs last year in this sector due to the COVID pandemic. Tourism is the country's third foreign exchange earner after tobacco and tea.
Remember, this is Business Time. It's a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories that are making headlines in the country. And we'll be right back. When we get back, we look at prospects for revenue generation in the country. That's when we get back inside Business Time.
Excuse me, madam. Stop billing. I'm taking back all these goods to the shelves.
What's wrong, sir?
Never mind. I have just changed my mind.
Excuse me. I just noticed you returned all the goods you meant to buy. What went wrong?
Some of these products are not originally made here in Malawi.
But these goods have a logo to authenticate them. And we manufacture them ourselves.
Then it means you're not registered with Buy Malawi Strategy. This logo here with a tick is not correct.
How?
All products and services registered with Buy Malawi Strategy have an original logo approved by government through the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Tourism that really authenticates your product as a Malawian product. Now, once you register, your product and service service will be recognized as Malawian. Look, we must buy Malawi to build Malawi. You can find out more from Buy Malawi Secretariat or call them on 01 770 244 0993 707 729 or 0999 528 510. You can also simply email info@buymalawi.mw.
Buy Malawi, tikondeni kunyadira za Malawi. Tikamagula.
Welcome back. This is Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And my name is William Kumwembe. During the 2020-2021 financial year, the country saw a number of challenges that affected the operation of the national budget. One of such was mismatch between the revenue and the projection by the government. Now, going forward, the Malawi Revenue Authority says it is optimistic that it would be able to be meeting its target each month. John Biswick, it's the Commissioner General, and caught up with our journalist Chimwemwe Mangazi.
Well, nothing has changed much. The COVID is still there, and I think as we are all hearing, we just have to learn to live with COVID, because initially I think a lot of people thought that COVID was a short-term issue and then it would disappear. But now I think life has got to continue with COVID. So we'll continue where we stopped in the last fiscal year to try and be sure that our staff are not exposed to COVID, as well as the taxpayers. But I think we just have to encourage compliance by the taxpayers without having the need to force them to pay their taxes. The tax reforms that we are looking at, there are a few specific areas which we are looking at. The introduction of a block management system. This is not a tax reform, but it's only a new way of administering or imposing compliance. So we are looking at that as a way of improving tax compliance. We are also introducing this one. It's tax stamps. Tax stamps right now have only been applicable to cigarettes, but we want to extend the use of tax stamps to liquor and other items, which we will be announcing as we go. Good. I think it's a very good development for the taxpayers, because under this bill, it puts obligations of the tax MRA as well as the obligations of the taxpayer. Now, previously, as you have said, the Commissioner General could sit on an issue for months or even years without making a determination. But right now, we have got a period under which this has got to be determined. But more importantly, what is pleasing to the taxpayers is that previously the Commissioner General was the prosecutor, the jury, and the judge. But now, if you are aggrieved with the determination of the Commissioner General, then you can appeal to the tribunal. So it's a very good development for the taxpayer, and it brings in transparency and fairness.
Now, moving on with other business news, a new asset management firm has been birthed in the country. We caught up with its country chief executive officer to find out its positioning on the local market.
Malawi as an economy, seeing an asset management company is not new to them, because I believe they have the likes of NICO, CDH, Old Mutual, Bridge Gap, and the likes. So we coming into the economy is to further complement what others are also doing in the economy. In that case, for us to complement, we also looked at what have they been doing? Where are they coming from? Where are they now? Where do we position ourselves? And based on this, we looked at certain factors which we derived from our vision and also our mission. For our mission, we want to be Malawi's most convenient financial institution, delivering outstanding service experience. When I say outstanding, I mean something exceptional that has not been there, something very unique. And of course, in our mission statement, we're looking at understanding our customers. And by this, we leverage on technology, we leverage on data, we leverage on all this to deliver this same outstanding experience to our customer. So we bring on the table a great customer's experience. We look at TAT, turnaround time of doing things. You know, if I want to get my transaction done, how long does it take me? If I want to liquidate my investment, how long does it take me? If I want to book an investment, how long does it take me? TAT is very key for us. We came to the market to wow our customer. We came to the market to tell our customer we could do beyond reasonable doubt. We could do something extremely exceptional. Of course, we have a product paper here and there, which I believe they are generic. You know, every investment banker, asset manager, they come up with those products over the years. But something very unique in this product is added value. What addition are we bringing? The addition we are bringing in, number one, is TAT. Number two, we are looking at a win-win situation. We believe businesses are mutual. You are happy, I am happy. You know, when I deliver exceptional service experience to you, you are happy, and I'm happy at the end of the day. You will come back again. A win-win situation because we believe so much that it is turnover that drives business. It's not just you give me a transaction today and I get the whole of income out of that. No. We believe when we treat you well today, tomorrow, even if it's a tambala, is our margin. Tomorrow you will love to do with us. Your friends will love to do with us. Everyone around you will love to do with us. So we bring on a table a conception, a mindset to carry everybody along, both individual and also the corporate entity in Malawi. So these are the areas we're looking at. And based on this, we treat our customers as king because they are the one paying our bills.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time. It's a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories that are making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. Always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Stay safe and bye for now.